It is mind-boggling to me how Tyler Perry owns his own studio, plot of land, multiple movie studios on said plot, yet is still cranking out the same type of black woman suffering ass movies. Yes, I watched Straw last night, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Not even 20 minutes into the movie. And everything that could go wrong went the hell wrong. Good Lord, Tyler, is you not tired? Now, while I understand that there are black women out there who felt seen by the movie, who can relate to similar sentiments and have had similar experiences, my issue is, Tyler, where is the balance in your movies?
And I will not be doing a movie review on Straw after Sinners. I'm not taking no more of y'all movie suggestions. Obviously, just given the nature of the movie, I am tired, okay? Tyler Perry, I understand that you want to capture the struggle of the black woman, but that's not all we're about, okay? This has been your MO since you came onto the scene as a movie producer and director. Why don't you give us a movie where we're painted as the queens we are?
What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my space. This is Ivan Strayola. Guys, thank you so much for tuning to watch today's episode. I do not take your support for granted. So far, on today's video, we want to discuss some trending video online of black women complaining and saying that Tyler Perry's shows really like to exploit the black woman's pain, you know, the black woman's struggle. That has always been a niche that Tyler Perry likes exploiting in his movies. Black women have threatened not to continue watching Tyler Perry's shows if he insists, you know, to showcase black women struggling. The latest show has been Straw, which debuted on Netflix, and it was one of the most watched shows in the few weeks. Right now it could only be 2 or 3 weeks old, and black women have since taken to social media platforms saying that they do not like how he portrays black women as struggling. They're asking Tyler Perry, why is there no balance in his shows? Why is there no black women being perceived or being painted as people who are successful, people who are having a loving marriage, you know, people who are being treated well with their men, and etc. That is the question that most black women are asking Tyler Perry. Some of them have also taken it online to support him and say that he's only trying to showcase what is happening in real life. You know, in his shows, he's also taken to social media claiming that he's only trying to showcase what his mother, sister, and aunt went through. He's trying to pay homage through his shows. So guys, I want to play a few videos of black American women complaining about Tyler Perry shows. Once it's done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this together, family.
And I will not be doing a movie review on Straw after Sinners. I'm not taking no more of y'all movie suggestions. Obviously, just given the nature of the movie, I am tired, okay? Tyler Perry, I understand that you want to capture the struggle of the black woman, but that's not all we're about, okay? This has been your MO since you came onto the scene as a movie producer and director. Why don't you give us a movie where we're painted as the queens we are? Something positive, opening up a successful business, you know, changing lives, which we do on a daily basis. You know, we do more, and we are worth more than just Hollywood looking at us struggle and strive and get to the top, doing what we can as single black moms on the last straw, the job, the baby daddy. That's not all we're about. So if that's what you think of when you look at black women, I'm finna stop supporting you too. Starting with this movie. I will not be watching it. I will take y'all word for it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of us being painted in Hollywood as slaves or under somebody's foot to even get a decent piece of the pie, or struggling single black mothers fighting and striving to get to the top. I'm aggravated, okay? Aggravated.
I say nothing to those people who think that my films focus on the struggle of black women, because they're right, it does. I'm in doing this. Let me tell you something. If I get an opportunity to put a Black woman on screen for people to see them in love, in happy, in joy, in pain, in struggle, what I'm doing is a service to all people, so that people will know that Black women are not just strong and one thing. They are all things, and they go through all of these different things. So to have an opportunity to be able to paint all of these pictures and all sides of it is something that I'm paying homage to my mother, to my aunt, to my sisters, and friends and cousins, and the things that they all went through. So
It is mind-boggling to me how Tyler Perry owns his own studio, plot of land, multiple movie studios on said plot, yet is still cranking out the same type of Black woman suffering ass movies. Yes, I watched Straw last night, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Not even 20 minutes into the movie. And everything that could go wrong went the hell wrong. Good Lord, Tyler, is you not tired? Now, while I understand that there are Black women out there who felt seen by the movie, who can relate to similar sentiments and have had similar experiences, my issue is, Tyler, where is the balance in your movies? You have the power to create any type of Black movie, sci-fi, thriller, comedy, rom-com, and any and everything in betwixt those genres. And yet we are still primarily getting movies about Black women suffering, sir. Because while yes, there are Black women out there who felt seen by this movie, you don't think those same Black women couldn't feel seen by seeing a woman who looks like them falling in love, being loved on properly, being taken care of without suffering? No, we just have to have the whole world fall apart in the first 20 minutes of the goddamn movie. All I'm saying is, if you're going to depict Black women suffering and struggling, offer a balance. And that balance doesn't have to be rooted in elitism. She ain't gotta be college educated, driving a Mercedes as a lawyer. And it ain't gotta be all that. But show us happy as well. Show us thriving as well. You know, the only balance shouldn't just be Medea doing some dumb shit, you know? And my other issue is how cheaply and how rushed your handling is with Black women suffering and trauma. The script was poorly done. The continuity was ass. Why am I watching Taraji take the kid's book bag away from the table just to see the book bag in the next scene and she ain't in the room no more? Lazily done. And that's the final cut. You know, like I'm not moved. I'm not impressed. And Tyler, it is infuriating to me that you have built a platform for the possibilities in Black media to be endless, yet you are cranking out the same kind of storyline. Like,
do I watch Tyler Perry movies just so that I can critique and talk trash about him afterwards? Absolutely. Yes, I do. I'm one of those people. As much trash as I talk about his movies, I still be somewhere watching it. I had to accept it. But this one, when I say he brought the struggle, he loved to have a Black woman struggle. But this one, I mean, he really thought of every way that she could possibly struggle in life and threw it into one movie. He gave us single struggling mother working 2 jobs. He threw in a sick child. He threw in a struggling job. A job where she's almost getting ready to get fired from. She already on her last leg with this job. And then she gets a phone call from the daughter's school saying that the daughter's sick again. And when she gets to the school, they taking the daughter from her. If that ain't bad enough, while she's back on her way to work from getting her daughter taken from her at the school, she ends up in a car accident with a police officer who ran her off the road. Said police officer who ran her off the road wanted to unalive her on the scene and was communicating threats. She ends up getting her car towed. She finally make it back to work being dripped in rain because it's raining. While all of this is taking place and her getting ran off the road and the police officer threatening her, it's raining. So she comes back to work soaking wet just to get fired. While getting fired, she's saying, well, at least can I get my last check? The boss like, nah, you ain't getting that last check. I'm going to put it in the mail. So now she can't get the check and she can't pay the rent and she getting evicted. And they threw her stuff out on the side of the road, including her daughter's medicine. Like, and then when you just think it can't get no worse, when she go back to the boss to try to get said check that she needs, guess what? Robbery. And the boss thinks she in on it. Ends in two people getting unalived, the boss and the guy who was trying to rob him. She ends up with the check, takes it across the street to the bank, try to get it cash, but she can't because she ain't got no ID. This ends in a robbery of her sticking up the bank, but she don't realize she's sticking up the bank even though she got a pew and she demanded money. This causes for the police to be somewhere trying to negotiate with her. They got Tiana Taylor on the phone trying to understand where she coming from and what she going through. Just when you just think it just can't get no more ridiculous. Somebody in the bank, one of the tellers, is live recording what's going on in the bank. And so it's being broadcast on TV. Taraji is telling what happened and how all of this took place to get her to the position she in right now with the stick up at the bank. And everybody is so empathetic about the situation that they show up at the scene at the bank and they standing outside talking about free her, even though she the one sticking up the bank. It was the most unrealistic, ridiculous movie ever. I mean, then you got the FBI that stepped in because they don't think the police officer's doing a good enough job. You got Tiana Taylor with the terrible wig on. And it just was ridiculous. I mean, just when you think that Tyler Perry can't get no worse with the acting, the scenes, the plot, I mean, he really gonna prove you wrong every time that he can just do so much worse. This was terrible. But I still watched it. I got my laugh. He got his view. I guess everybody wins.
Tyler Perry love a struggling black woman. That's all I see on social media now. But it made me think, not only does you think Tyler Perry love to see a struggling black woman, y'all do too. Because the TikToks that go viral, the social media posts that go viral are of mostly struggling black people. I see Brene and Tim, their struggle, and Akira all up and down my timeline. I see the stay-at-home mom, Diamond, all up and down my timeline. If they didn't have a struggle story, you would not tune into their lives. So we are quick to get up here and throw stones, but we do it every day. So what makes us better than Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry is just on a public platform and he gets to see, we get to see what he's thinking and the things that he want to put out. But what you're scrolling on social media is struggle. Like, if it's not struggle, you're not tuning in. So we're the same. So until we as a collective come together and not uplift another black person's struggle, that's what we're going to continue to see, because that's what's happening in reality. So it's not Tyler Perry, it's everybody.
Tyler Perry is never beating the allegations that he hyperfixates on black women in questionable wigs suffering. So it was no surprise that many people promised to not watch the top-ranked film on Netflix of his, Straw. But is that right? Is it the same old suffering, or did he actually flip the script here? I have two reasons to believe he tricked you, and it's not because of the plot twist at the end. The movie Straw, at face value, looks like it might be playing into the stereotype that people have about Tyler Perry's work. Taraji P. Henson's character, Janiyah, is on her last straw. Sweating, struggling, a single mom with absolutely no support, things are rough out here. For the 92%, currently leaning into brunch, rejuvenation, restoration, naps, this is not necessarily the narrative that we find entertaining at the moment. Because we know how this story ends. There's a reason we understand why the movie and the books, A Series of Unfortunate Events, were about white people. Because black people don't typically survive a series of unfortunate events. But Tyler Perry kind of calls our bluff and does the specific script story arc change that destabilizes us as the audience. So whether you watch a film or not, it goes into the culture, and then it either affirms or challenges a particular set of social narratives that are part of that society. Those narratives, they make up the ideas we have about each other as members of society. The strong black woman identity, the suffering Negro, the angry black woman, the hardworking, resilient black women who rise above it all. That's an identity that is constructed in collaboration with both the past and the present. Cultural memory, social norms, social narratives, they make up how our brains process each other. That recognition, social recognition we have when we first see somebody and in a split second put them in a category or make sense of who they are in relationship to us. That split-second categorization is what determines how people see you, what they think you're owed, and more critically, what they think you could survive. As a side note, that's critical to why parents want their black children to see positive representations of themselves, like Doc McStuffins or even Olivia Pope. Straw recognizes the plight of so many black women who, for generations, were used by this country and then left to flounder when they couldn't extract free labor out of them. And also, something of note is Tyler Perry's own past is not past. It is still something that he thinks about, it's something that he minds, and it's something that is very present in how he understands his relationship to the black community. That abuse, suffering, pain, his triumph, all of that is a legitimate and valid source of information for his artwork. What Tyler Perry witnessed in his particular black community with the pervasiveness of poverty that came from white supremacy, it's valuable. It's worth telling stories about. Because there is no generational wealth for Janiyah to tap into. There is no non-racist medical healthcare system where she could freely give birth to her baby and then get the fair kind of equitable care that she needed. There's been no reparations for the trillions of dollars stolen from her family for their free labor. Can she afford to sue her abusive boss? Absolutely not. And as one of the aunties said in this film, it's really expensive to be poor in America. This is an unfortunate and uncomfortable truth. For two main reasons, this is not an ordinary black trauma video. If you'd like to watch the movie without any spoilers, I do allude to some here, so save this video and come back. If this was a typical black trauma film, you would have a woman who was desperate, pushed to the edge, followed all the rules to a T, and then made one mistake and then paid for that with her black life. Because in this country, that's the cost of making a mistake while black. We don't get elected president when we evade our taxes. We don't get pardons when we try to protest and overturn a fair and free election. We wear hoodies in the rain and we die. We have a busted taillight, we get executed. We protest peacefully and get kicked in the head. Normally, we would see Janiyah trying to do everything she can to get that $40 for her daughter's overdue lunch and try to keep that apartment, and it would all fall apart under a legal system that wasn't built for her. When the police and the FBI arrive at that bank where she finds herself with somebody else's pew-pew and now she's holding people hostage, she would not have walked out of there hand in hand with another black woman alive. Would Janiyah be handcuffed gently by a fellow black detective who got rid of a racist and violent cop so she would feel safe enough to come out? In most movies, black people live because they follow the rules. In this film, Janiyah abandons the system, becomes lawless, and still lives. I was fully expecting her to be killed. Because in my mind, this story has no other possible ending. Yet Janiyah demands over and over again that the authorities understand her circumstances, that her life matters, and that her story needs to be listened to. She insists that her circumstances are too complicated to be understood by the authorities who see things in black and white. She insists on bodily safety and connects with other black women throughout the film to actually get that. And that ties into my second point, which is the presence and the casting of other black women in this film that complicate this idea of what it means to be a black woman. Normally, Janiyah would be the only or main black woman in this film, and if there were other black women, they would all be in the same indistinct circle of hell suffering that she's in. Referencing another Tyler Perry movie, these women would have been seen as the one big black brick wall that was managing to withstand all this suffering. One of the first things I noticed was that this film was heavily populated with other black women who are thriving, who are happy, who love their husbands, or who have other hard lives, but not as hard as hers. Hooray, there were some beautiful hairstyles that no one's gonna mock on the internet. We learned that Nicole, the branch manager, has a fancy brick home in the suburbs and a loving husband who buys her expensive things. We had a cool, calm, and collected black cashier who knew Janiyah, who offered to help her. We had black ladies in house dresses with their hair wrapped, running around like crazy. You had black women who were older and retired and just going to the bank that evening, and some of them agreed with what she had to say and some of them didn't, and there was just this diversity of black womanhood just going about their lives and happening to run into this woman who they had some kind of empathy for or judged harshly due to their own choices. Detective Raymond, who's played by Tiana Taylor, even advocates for and connects with Janiyah throughout the course of the movie. There's no black monolith here. There were more black women than white women even in this film, and there was no singular black response to what Janiyah was doing, right? This black community had mixed feelings about her actions. There was anger and sympathy, there was disgust and also understanding, there was fear and also this hope for her. She's not a good victim. She's not entirely innocent, and she doesn't follow all the rules, but people still think she deserves to live. She does not have to be fully understood or perfect to be given her life. And believing that, that's more than most people will ever give black women. Straw rewrites this story in an unexpected way, while also being very realistic and understanding of the reality that a lot of black women in this country still face. There's more to this film. It's absolutely fair to criticize it and to discuss it and talk about it, but I would ask that we look at Janiyah's character not as a stereotype, but actually a subversion of one. I would encourage us to judge this film solely on the execution of the character created and the cast that was brought forward to surround that particular performance. I am really looking forward to hearing what you think.
People love trying to say Tyler Perry is disparaging black women and talking down on black women. But in reality, I haven't seen a Tyler Perry movie where that is true. Okay, maybe one. But, I mean, like, are we all living on, like, the same planet Earth? Like, in this movie, Straw, like, he's literally depicting what it looks like to be a single mom. Maybe you can't relate it because maybe you have a support system. Just like how a fish doesn't realize it's in water because it's in water all the time. So maybe you don't realize the struggles that actually exist for some women that don't have nobody. Maybe you have a present child's father, or even a partially present child's father. Or maybe you have a mom that helps out, or sisters, uncles, cousins. Maybe you have that. But for the single moms like myself that had to raise a child completely alone with no support system, who relied on the kindness of strangers and people who she met along the way, this movie really hit home. Like, it's real life. It's cutthroat. It's amazing. That movie. What's another movie? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Let's just face it. Like, if you want to really get into the thickness of it, this girl helped this man get on and helped him become a lawyer, and she was a black queen, straight black. And who did he leave her for? We know the stereotypes. This isn't a race thing, you know what I'm saying? But we know, like, the stereotypical, you left her for a lighter toned woman who had curlier hair. Like, and then acrimony. She helped the man get up to the top, was pursuing his dreams and everything. And then when he finally, he was just failing at every project. And then when she finally had enough, then he got a divorce and fell in love with a woman who came along when he had his riches, or right at the tail end, and gave her everything that she was hoping to get. So these are not scenarios where Tyler Perry is depicting a woman in a bad light. He's depicting the plights that women go through. Even with the one moment, A Fall from Grace, where the man was preying on the woman. Like, I don't see the victimization of women. Now, the only movie where I would say it was slightly like that would be Temptation, because she had a good man and then she cheated on her man. But even in that movie, you can see the instances where she did feel unprotected, even though it does not validate what she did. I don't want y'all coming from me in the comments, but it's like everyone, oh, he's disparaging black women. No, that's not it. I think, especially in this movie, I think he brought light to the plight, and I think it was whirlwind. He did a really good job doing it. That's all I got.
Let's talk about Tyler Perry and why every time he comes out with a movie, there's people being loud and bringing the wrong energy. People always screaming like, why is he always showing us crying? Why he can't show us being happy? Well, that's because he's not writing fantasy. He's writing the truth, generational truth of that. Our grandmothers were silenced and our mothers were shamed. And we're the first generation that's actually speaking about the trauma and trying to do something about it. Tyler Perry didn't create suffering. He's just one of the first people to actually put it on film and tell the stories that a lot of people were not able to tell. Those characters are not just acting. That's your auntie, that's your mama, and that's you. How many of us have watched a Tyler Perry film and saw ourselves in it and finally realized that we were not alone? Y'all keep saying that he's exploiting black women's pain, But why don't y'all say that about all these other shows that's on Netflix and other networks? Why does it bother you when black pain is centered? Especially black female pain. That's because you rather not look at the mirror. Is it because you rather pretend that all these generational curses, this spiritual warfare, these broken homes, would you rather pretend that they're not real? But it is real. Tyler Perry movies are not about staying in pain. It's about facing it, surviving it, and breaking that cycle. You may not like the struggle that he shows, but somebody's watching that like, damn, maybe I do deserve to be loved differently. Baby, that's impact. So stop clowning him for telling the truth just because it makes you uncomfortable. Tyler Perry ain't the problem. The problem is you're mad that the truth got aired out on screen. Stop criticizing what you haven't healed from.
Fam, if you've watched Tyler Perry's latest show on Netflix, known as Straw, you'll notice it's a story of a woman, a black woman, trying to work 2 jobs to ensure that she is able to pay for her kids' fee and be able to pay for her house, and that led to a lot of struggle in her life, and people have reacted differently after they watched Straw. Many people have alleged that now Tyler Perry shows always exploit black women. People say that he benefits from showcasing black women from a point of struggle, and people are trying to ask Tyler Perry that it is time that he paints black women as women who are successful, as women who are having successful marriages, women who are being treated well with their men, women whose life are in control. People are trying to tell Tyler Perry that he should find balance in his shows. Black women, black American women have threatened not to be watching Tyler Perry's shows because he benefits from black women's struggle in many of his shows. Black women are calling for Tyler Perry to be more real and stop stereotyping the black woman. Some people feel like Tyler Perry shows as stereotyping black women as women who are struggling, as women who are single, women who do not have peace, women who are used to crying day after day, women who are just struggling in the society. They proceed to ask Tyler Perry, why don't you give us a movie where we are painted as the queens we are in real life? Black women are also queens, apart from you just showing their struggling side. Black women say they're tired of being painted as slaves. We understand there could be women suffering, but now where is the balance in your movies? These are questions from people. Black women would also want to see themselves being painted as being in love, taken care of, family unit working. Showers are happy and thriving as well. Not only the struggling version. Show us women who are thriving, women who are career women, women whose businesses are thriving so well. We are so tired of the same old suffering you depict in your movies. People have said they are tired of the suffering. Kindly show us happiness. Show us thriving. Show us black women who are strong, Some have also come to support Tyler Perry, saying he is speaking about the trauma in black communities that nobody wants to talk about. Some people have said that the trauma that is indeed in black communities is what Tyler Perry is trying to depict in his movie. Tyler Perry has also mentioned that now he only does these shows because he believes it reflects in many women's lives, including her mom, her sister, his aunt. He was trying to explain that he was only paying homage to these loved ones who he's seen them struggle. Tyler Perry has in turn accepted that his film truly focuses on the struggle of black women. He says he's doing service to all people so that people would know that black women are not just strong, but they are also struggling with some of these things. Family. As a person who's watched Tyler Perry's Straw, there's a lot of things he's depicted there of black struggle. Like I've mentioned, the lady was working 2 jobs, you know. The lady lost her job. The lady was included, you know, in crime, killing his boss, her boss, you know. There's been a lot in line with the struggle of the black lady in the video. And all people who are asking is for him to reduce producing or rather directing movies where he only showcases where black women are struggling. People want to find balance. People want to watch movies of black women who are also somewhere in life, black women who are in control of their lives, things are working, they're well taken care of. That is all many people are asking. Well, a few of the videos you've seen right there, some of them were also in support of Tyler Perry, and it's just but a topic that is sparkling a lot of debate online. Guys, if you haven't watched his show, The Straw, you can go and watch, then you can have your own conclusion. Especially if you've watched other shows from him, you can have your own conclusion after watching Straw. Then now you can compare if indeed there is no balance in his movies, or if he's trying to depict, you know, a struggling black woman rather than ensuring that there is balance. Like this video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'll be very, very grateful. Last but not least, kindly do consider subscribing to the channel. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and guys, I'd really appreciate if you'd subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys, and see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.